Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user My Mind is in Bora Bora. My 22 female boyfriend, 25 male, is hiding all my stuff and I have no idea why. Thanks to everyone who read this, I'll try to keep it short. My boyfriend of 5 months just moved in with me 3 weeks ago. He had some problems with his apartment, damp walls, and it has to be renovated. As my roommate is currently spending some time abroad, I told him it would be okay if he stayed at my place for 4 to 6 weeks. He'll be able to move back to his own apartment by that time. So now we've been living together for 3 weeks and things started out great. Jealousy had been a bit of a problem between us because we often go out separately, probably once a week, but coming home to the same apartment helped him get over his unjustified jealousy. But there has been one new problem. Now, this may seem petty at first, but I'm really at my wit's end with this one. Ever since he moved in with me, things started disappearing and then reappearing one day later in the same place they were missing from. I'm talking about documents, small household items, and food, and it's not like losing keys and then finding them again somewhere. I specifically look for something in a certain place where it isn't, but it is there the next day. For example, I like to take a chocolate bar with me to work in the morning, and for that, I normally have a pack of chocolate bars at home. Shortly after he moved in with me, I woke up to find all the chocolate was gone. I asked him about it, he said he didn't know anything about it. I come home just to find the chocolate bars are in the cupboard again. I ask him, he says he doesn't know anything about it. Maybe you just didn't see them in the morning. We're talking about a large pack with about 12 chocolate bars. How can I not see that? At first I thought it was maybe some strange kind of humor, but he seems angry when I bring it up and it's starting to really piss me off because sometimes it's been items belonging to one of my friends that I wanted to give back to them and then couldn't, or it was certain documents I needed for a certain day. Now I have absolutely no idea what this is about. I am not crazy and just don't understand at all. He gets really angry when I talk about it, saying I'm making this up just to cause drama. Why should I? I have no idea what's going on. Any ideas? Well, this is a very odd situation. First thing I would do before talking to him or anything like that is get proof. So I would maybe get a nanny cam or something like that on Amazon or eBay or whatever, and put it somewhere that he doesn't notice to get proof that he's actually doing this, taking something, then putting it back. Then I'd confront him, but maybe don't do that alone. Because if he gets angry or snaps at you with you just asking questions, then confronting him with proof might not be the best idea to do alone. Also, he's doing this and then he's gaslighting you, telling you that you're causing drama just for the sake of it. That's just odd. Really, the why is kinda difficult to say, but apparently he is getting a rise out of you, so maybe that's what he wants? It's weird, but I don't know. A long time ago I read a story about a guy that destroyed his girlfriend's most prized possession just to see her in distress and be there to support her. So maybe he's the one that needs and feeds off of this drama, like some sort of emotional dementor. But what do you guys think? Let me know your opinion in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they had to say. Deleted says, I don't know enough about the dynamic between you and your boyfriend, so what I'm about to say may seem far-fetched. But could it be that he is intentionally trying to make you feel crazy? You could try leaving something out and keep a camera hidden somewhere and see if your boyfriend does move it. Goat is my co-pilot says, the fact that he acts like you're crazy when you ask is the problem. The fact that he accuses you of trying to start drama is a problem. He wants something from you, but won't articulate what it actually is. You did mention there was a jealousy issue. I don't know if they are in any way connected, but they could be. Bottom line is that you are seeing what he is like when you are living together, and it is not good. And OP responds, the jealousy issue was nothing special. He doesn't want me to go out with my group of girlfriends because most of them are single. I think he just has a wrong impression of what girls do on a night out. We sometimes got in a fight, but it's gotten a lot better in the last 3 weeks. I'm So Groovy says, before you decide he is a psycho, make sure it isn't you. When you look in a specific place and notice something is missing, take a picture and refer to it later when the item shows up. Also, get your CO levels checked. This sounds like a post someone made about a stalker leaving notes in his room, but it was actually CO poisoning and he was writing the notes himself. And OP responds, "Whoa, of all the comments here, this is the scariest. I've already ordered a nanny cam online to be sent to my parents' place, so hopefully I'll have some sort of proof. You know, one way or the other." More information from OP's comments. "The first few times it happened, I was just convinced I just overlooked something. But then it was my friend's gift that vanished that I had just wrapped half an hour ago and placed on the happy birthday card on my desk. And right before I wanted to go, it's gone, but the card is still there. I decide I'll come up with some excuse for my friend and give her the gift as soon as I find it. When I come home in the middle of the night after her party, the gift is suddenly on top of the card again. That was when I got really suspicious." Other stuff that has gone missing was, for example, a book I needed for one of my classes, a USB stick I had borrowed from a friend, the bowl I usually put the lunch in I bring to work, a set of my keys from my parents' house who had been on vacation, I had to feed their cats, and a necklace I had from my grandma and wanted to wear when I was out to dinner with her. All things showed up the next day, exactly where I had looked for them. He's a really nice guy and I don't know, I can't imagine him putting that much thought into testing me. A prank go wrong doesn't sound that bad, but I'm afraid that, for a prank, it's happened a bit too often. In the last 3 weeks, I'd say it happened about every third day. And the more I'm thinking about it, it has happened about 3 times before he moved in with me. When I was sleeping at his place and couldn't find things I brought with me to his place. And later, he'd tell me he found them exactly where I was looking for them. But it doesn't make any sense. I don't get the motive behind it. It was actually his idea to move in with me, and I was very reluctant at first. He said he didn't have anywhere else to go and he would have to sleep on the streets. And although he's supposed to move back into his own apartment at some point, he surely brought an awful lot of stuff here. Now, I usually go to class or work before him and come home after him, so he's in the apartment alone a lot. But I'm not, only sometimes when he goes out in the evenings. I guess I'll have to wait for the next weekend, and I don't really want to go through his stuff. Okay, so now that we've got more information, what do you guys think about this whole thing? It's really weird. Anyways, let's go on to the update to see what OP ended up doing. First of all, thank you all very much for your suggestions, advice, support, and concern. I've gotten multiple PMs asking if I was okay, and I really appreciate it. So, back to my situation. After I read all your comments and did some reading on gaslighting, I was really freaked out. Plenty of you told me there were other red flags in our relationship. It got me thinking, and more stuff came to mind that should have worried me a long time ago. Our whole relationship felt pretty rushed from the start. I didn't even want to date, but he showered me with romantic gifts and gestures, date ideas, texts, and I finally gave in. He was pretty upset when I didn't want to say I love you from the start, when I didn't want him to meet my family right away, when I didn't want to have sex without a condom, you don't trust me, and when I didn't want to book an expensive vacation with him. He was very jealous and didn't want me to go out without him, although he went out with his friends all the time. He made me cancel plans to spend time with him and then stood me up. He logged into my Facebook and changed my relationship status one day after we started dating as a surprise. I actually did worry at that, but thought he was just bad at making surprises. As one commenter pointed out, all the stuff that was gone missing had something to do with me leaving the house or meeting friends and family. A gift for my friend, the key to my parents' house, a USB stick I borrowed, documents for an application for a semester abroad, which we had a huge fight about because he didn't want me to go, etc. After I read all about gaslighting, I ordered a nanny cam. Unfortunately, the delivery took 4 days, and after day 1, I already knew I couldn't be with him any longer. I wanted him out of the apartment as soon as possible and with as little drama as possible. I told him that my roommate had gotten a really interesting job offer and would cut her vacation short and come home in a week, so he had to move out. He was pretty angry, but I told him that there was nothing I could do. I also told him, as some of you had suggested, that his landlord had to get him a place to stay and that he should call him. The next day, he told me that he talked to his landlord and he could move back to his own flat the following weekend. The renovations had not taken as long as planned. At this point, I doubt the apartment ever had damp walls to begin with, but who knows. In the evening, he asked me if I wanted to move in with him because it works so well and you don't like your roommate anyway. I never even said that. I told him sure, I would move in with him. He was pretty excited about it. While I was waiting for the nanny cam to arrive, there was one incident when something went missing. A book that I had ordered for my dad over Amazon and wanted to bring him the next day. At least, that's what I told my boyfriend. Of course, in the morning, the book was gone. I chose to ignore it and he reacted quite strangely to it, even asking me on my way out if I had taken the book with me. Why on earth would he ask that if he didn't expect a reaction from me? I just asked, "What book?" "The book you wanted to bring your dad." "I don't know what you're talking about." In the evening, the book was on my desk again, of course, and I ignored it again. 2 hours later, he casually walks by my desk and says, "Oh, that's the book I was talking about." I just said, "Oh, that book." He seemed pretty angry for the rest of the evening. 2 days later, the nanny cam finally arrived. I set it up while he was at the gym and again, when he was there, placed a letter I needed for work on my desk. I wasn't surprised at all when it was gone a few hours later and reappeared the next day. When I finally was alone at home again and could check out the nanny cam evidence, I only saw what I already knew. He took the letter while passing the desk, put it in his gym bag, and put it back a few hours later. However, as soon as I saw the evidence, I decided against confronting him. To be honest, I was scared of his reaction and had already decided to break it off as soon as possible. Also, the camera didn't show me his motive, and I figured he probably wouldn't tell me anyway. However, it frustrated me very much that I would probably never know why he did it, and on the last evening before he moved back into his newly renovated apartment, I told him I wanted to watch an old movie called Gaslight. Thanks for the tip, everybody, it really is a great movie. He sat with me through the whole movie, but was quieter than usual while I talked the whole time about how unrealistic the movie was and that he was obviously insane. I actually expected some kind of reaction from him, but he just sat there looking nervous. On Sunday, he took all of his stuff back to his apartment. My brother had organized someone to come and change the locks, and as soon as that was done, I wrote my boyfriend a text telling him that it was over. I had no interest in being contacted again, that our breakup was final, and I thought it was very sad that he had to hide my things to keep the relationship interesting. Since then, he called me more or less non-stop, but I haven't picked up and I won't. I know this isn't the most heroic or exciting ending. I could have confronted him with the video evidence, but instead, I cowardly broke up with a text message. However, I really didn't want to confront him and have a dramatic fight. I just wanted it to be over as soon and as smoothly as possible. If there's anything I've learned from this, it's to not rush into a relationship. For the past 7 years, I've jumped from one long-term relationship to the next, and I think it's time to stay single for a while and concentrate on my college classes. For now, I'm going to stay at my brother's for 2 or 3 weeks, and I should probably change my phone number. I'm sorry that I can't give you an insight into why he did it. It may have been kleptomania, a prank, or messing with my stuff because something about me frustrated him. I will probably never know. In all the texts he sent me, it only says that he doesn't know what I'm talking about and he never took my things. Okay, so it sounds like OP dealt with it properly. That's great, OP, you stayed safe. Now let's go on to the final update to see how this whole story ended. I'll try to keep it short this time. Unfortunately, my last update was locked, so I couldn't reply to every comment I would have liked to reply to. in the past few weeks, I've gotten some messages asking if I'm okay and still alive, so I thought I'd write one more update. I'd love to give you an overall happy update, but unfortunately, the breakup didn't go as smoothly as I first thought it would. I never picked up when my ex called me and never wrote back to one of his countless messages, but I read most of them, and there was a certain shift in his messages after about 4 days when he suddenly went from this, "I love you and I miss you so much. I don't know what you think I have done, but I can assure you I didn't do anything wrong. Whoever told you that is a liar. Please give me another chance." To this, "You're such a whiny bitch. No wonder you can't hold up a relationship with anyone. I hate you and there's no second chance for us, no matter how much you wish for that. For your own sake, pray to not ever run into me again." I blocked his number later that same week, but had an overall bad feeling when some strange things happened. Some friends of mine called to ask me if I'm okay, and they were all under the impression I had broken up with him because I wanted to concentrate on my mental health. Twice I came to work and everyone was surprised to see me because someone had called them to let them know I wasn't feeling well enough for work. When I asked who that was, they said he told them he was my doctor. Also, my ex wrote to my mom on Facebook. They actually never met in person, pretending to be a concerned friend asking about my well-being after my latest breakdown. It was very easy to clear some of that stuff up, especially with my family, but it was harder to do so at work. After 3 weeks at my brother's, I decided to move back into my own apartment, which was not a good idea. On the second evening, I saw my ex in front of the building, and then I saw him at least every other day standing on the other side of the street, just looking across. After about a week, someone started to ring the bell at 3 a.m. for 5 days straight. Also, 3 times I came home and found a little piece of paper in front of my door with a flame drawn on it. It creeped me out so much that he somehow managed to get into the building. I grew more and more afraid to leave the apartment and finally decided to move back in with my brother and his family. My friend, whom I shared the apartment with and who is currently abroad, didn't take too well to the whole story. She was furious when she heard I changed the locks without telling her, and even more furious when I told her I'd be moving out because that was not what we initially agreed upon. However, I just can't go back there. In hindsight though, I probably should have involved her more in the process. I did ask her parents if it was okay to change the locks as it is their apartment, but I didn't speak to her about it. I feel really crappy about letting him stay in her apartment in the first place. I also went to the police to get a restraining order. It was a surprise to me how hard it is to get one of those. I needed not only evidence of him harassing me, but also evidence of him threatening my safety. However, after long hours and much patience from my sister-in-law, I got one. The bright side is that I got approved for my semester abroad. To not burden my brother any longer, I will leave a month in advance and maybe travel around a bit. I'm already in a Facebook group with all the other exchange students that will spend the next semester there, and I think I certainly won't be alone. Smiley face. When I come back, I'll be looking for a small apartment on my own. I still don't have Amazon Prime, I'm sorry. I can't thank you all enough for opening my eyes after my first post here. I actually had no idea what was going on. Even if I had a feeling that something was off, you guys saved me from a very abusive relationship, and every day, I'm grateful I got out of it soon enough. Wow, that dude went full psycho. It's a good thing OP got out of there and also out of the country for a while. Hopefully she'll never run into him or see him again. Anyways, thanks for sharing OP. All the best. Take care. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.